Hello guys, and welcome to another video. It's going to be, yet again, for like the 5th video, going to be a 24-hour readathon, which I'm very, very excited about, obviously, because I do so many of them. But I had planned to do this at the beginning of the week. Today's Thursday. However, we are also selling our house, and yesterday someone scheduled a showing for today to come look at the house. So it's going to be a bit like on and off. Most of the readathon's actually going to be tomorrow, but I figured I'd start it today. And I've actually started before filming this clip. I've been reading for like 30 minutes. It's like 11 o'clock now. But so today I'm not going to be reading a ton because my mom and dad are both at work. So my job is to get the house ready for the showing. There's not a lot we need to do because we had a showing yesterday, but it just like sweep the floor again and I don't know, small things. But anyways, so I'm reading a little bit now. I'm gonna get the house ready. We're gonna go to the showing, or the showing's gonna happen. I'm gonna sit in my car with all 3 of our cats. My mom's gonna go take our dogs. So I'll probably be reading while I'm in the car, so I'll still be, making progress. And then I'm gonna come home. And then we're really gonna get into the 24-hour readathon. And I'm gonna read until I fall asleep at night. And then I'm gonna wake up and do the rest tomorrow. So that is the plan. Now, let's get into the TBR for the video. First is the guest list, which I actually was about 160 pages into before I started this video. I just haven't finished it, but I read a little bit. Obviously, I told you I've been reading for about 30 minutes, so I'm about 220 pages in now. It's about 320 pages, I think, 310. So, I'm almost done. This is a thriller. This is like one of the first thrillers I've read. I read a lot of thrillers in middle school and then I just never touched them since. So this is actually my mom's book because I don't like thrillers, and I was like, my mom has thrillers, I'll just pick one of her books to read. I think my dog might bark too, so that'll be a problem. But I'm reading this one. I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving it. Then next is going to be kind of a weird book. I'm reading Need to Read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. As I've explained in videos before, I work at a bookstore, and my boss every once in a while tells us, all right, you have to read one book from these sets of genres so that we like expand on what we're able to recommend. So I'm reading Outliers. I bought this book a while ago because I was supposed to read it for an English class, and then we never did. And we have it in the store, so I figured I'll read this one. I'm not going to be reading this one straight. I don't think I can. It's like a nonfiction, businessy, self-helpy book. Not my type of thing. So every time I finish a book in this readathon, I'm going to read a few chapters of this to get through it. So I don't anticipate finishing this book today, but it's going to be part of what I read. So now let's get into the more me style books. So I don't have them stacked here properly. The first book I'm going to be reading after finishing the guest list is Firebird by Juliet Cross. I'm so excited about this book, more than anything, because that is. But I'm really, really excited to read this one. I think it's going to be a good time. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know a ton about it. There's dragons. That's all I can tell you. So I am excited for that one. And then I don't anticipate finishing Firebird tonight. I don't really know. Maybe I will. It just depends on how long the showing takes and stuff. But normally I do a Kindle read when it gets late, so I can curl up in bed, very cozy. But instead I'm gonna read, I'm gonna read Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, the first one, because I don't plan on tabbing and annotating these series, so I don't need to be like on it. Like I can be sleepy and read this book. And I think my cat might be trying to get in. Yep, there he comes. I've actually read the first few Zodiac Academy books on my Kindle a little over half a year ago, I think. And I had to stop because I was being like too obsessed with them and not doing my schoolwork. So, but they're like really bad, but they're so good. I don't know if that makes any sense. I've been telling my friends they're like a train wreck that you can't look away from. So I've been slowly collecting the physical copies so I can read them. I stopped reading after like the 5th book, I think. Can't really remember. So I've read the Origins of an Academy Bully, I think, is what the novella before this one is. And then I'm gonna read this one tonight. since I've already read it, hopefully it'll be a quick read. And then my next book is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. This is a YA fantasy. I've been told it's like The Cruel Prince meets Bridgerton, so I'm very excited for it. Yeah, that's about all I can tell you. And then I don't really know if I'm gonna have time for this book, but if I end up getting sick of fantasy, I have All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This is a romance. I believe it's a single dad, single mom. One of them has a kid. So I've had this book for a really long time, and I've been putting it off because that's not my favorite trope. But I love Mariana Zapata's books so much. I've already read three. I do want to get more. So once I read this one, then I will be allowed to get more Mariana Zapata books. So yeah, this one's just kind of long. I mean, all of her books are really, really long for romance books. But there is my TBR for my 24 hours of reading. So I'm gonna go back to reading. I'm gonna try to finish the guest list because I have about 100 pages left. Oh no, my dog is coming upstairs, isn't he? He can't come in here because I have the cat litter box in here, and he likes to eat the cat litter. So anyways, I'm gonna try to finish this one before doing the cleaning things that I need to do. So let's get to reading. Just under 2 hours into the readathon, and I have finished The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I don't know how I feel about this one. Obviously, like I said, it's one of my first thrillers I've read, at least in a really, really long time. So I still don't know how I feel. I feel like when people talk about thrillers, they're like, oh, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. And I feel like I wasn't. Like, there was every, 50 pages or so, there'd be like a not a flashback chapter, but a flash forward chapter of the thriller-y moment. But between that, it kind of just felt like a literary fiction character study kind of thing, like looking at the disaster that is this wedding and the connection that all these people have to each other. So I think I feel like I really, if there was no thriller aspect of this book, I honestly really, really loved it. And to me, I feel like the thriller aspect added nothing. Like, it was fine. I didn't dislike the thriller aspect, but it didn't add anything to the story for me. Yeah, I don't know. I like every chapter. Like, I mean, not every chapter, but it was told through like 5 different characters' point of views. So I really like that, and seeing all the different like people and stories, and yeah. So like I said, if it was literary fiction, I think I would have really enjoyed it. I mean, I did really enjoy it. The thriller didn't take anything away, but it didn't add anything. So I did kind of guess the suspect not too long before. I was like, I wonder if it was her. Sorry, that's a spoiler by saying her, not them. And then it was her. So yeah, anyways, that's the guest list. Now I'm gonna do a little more cleaning and stuff for the open house, like I told you. And then I think the next book I'm gonna start is The Rose Bargain, because I think that one's YA, and I don't think Firebird is. So it'll hypothetically be a quicker read, so I won't be reading it till like the middle of the night, because right now it is almost 1 o'clock. And the showing, I think, is at 4. So I still have 3 hours, but that's time that I need to clean and deal with all of our critters. It takes us like 10 minutes to get all the animals out of the house. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so I only did like 10 minutes of cleaning. Oops. But I'm coming back to read my few chapters of Outliers. Basically, my understanding of this book is that it's the story of some amount of people. Is there? Of 10 stories of people who are successful, but like they wouldn't, like, they underdog success stories, I think is what this is. People whose achievements fall outside normal experiences. So let's see what the first story is. Okay. Got an introduction. And it's a very short chapter. Our introduction is only like 10 pages, and then chapter 1 is, okay, I don't know. The first story, guys, I don't know why I'm doing this to you. Okay. Part 1 is opportunity. There's multiple parts. Why does this just say part? Oh yeah. Part 1 is opportunity. Part 2 is legacy. I don't know. I'm gonna read what I feel like reading. That's all. Alright, hello everyone. I'm clearly in the car with my kittens. Here's Wendell. And both Vincent and Indy are sitting in their crates even though they have free rein. I'm not moving. I am staying parked here. The cats will not be out of the crates when I'm not moving. But they have really bad, well, Vincent and Indy, who are my parents' cats. Wendell is my cat. He's my precious little boy. Vincent and Indy have really bad track records in the car. Where they get stressed out and they like stress, diarrhea, poop. So, because we've been doing this for a while, like I said, we're selling the house. So we've had a couple open houses where we've just been like driving around with them, leaving them in the crates. It does not end well for any of us. So my new tactic is just sitting in one place with them, and oh, there's Vincent. He's a little black blob that looks like a shadow. I don't think you'll see Indy. Last time I opened his crate, but he just stayed in there the whole time. But yeah. So while they're looking at the house, I will be sitting here with the kitties. I have snacks. I have books. So I'm gonna keep doing my readathon. I have my book in here. This is a Raven Boys book sleeve that I got from Owl Crate. I have not read the Raven Boys yet, but I really, really want to. But it was the first book sleeve on my stack of book sleeves. So, oh, before I bring up this book, the book, I did start reading Outliers. I told you I read first like the intro and then chapter 1. Chapter 1 was kind of interesting because it like actually applies to my life. Because they're talking about like in Canadian hockey leagues, there's this like weird phenomenon where everyone, like most in like the high level, champion level, whatever, I don't know, junior level, A level, whatever, I don't know how they categorize their teams, but like the, you know, the special exclusive fancy ones, there's this phenomenon where like I think this like 80% of the team, their birthdays are from January to like April or something. Like 80% of the team has birthdays in that time period. And basically it's because to get into like your age group of hockey, it's like if you, the date is like after January 2nd, if you're going to turn whatever years old in this year, then you go into that league. And when you're an adolescent growing up, childhood, 8 months makes a huge difference in terms of maturity and like, you know, what your body's like. So all those people, they seem, when you're born in the earlier months, January through April-ish, you're so much better equipped. Oh God, just rewind. So much more better equipped to be, like, you're better because your body's built up more, blah, blah, blah. And they talked about how, like, if you're September through December birthdays, there's, like, 2 people in the league who have those birthdays. So that was just interesting to me. They also talked about it in school because I'm a November birthday. I was, like, I think the second youngest in my entire class. So, and talked about, like, how it puts you at a disadvantage when you're so much younger, and then it just builds up because people who seem better because they're, you know, 8 months older keep getting sort of challenged more and coached more in those classes, and then the younger kids just get left behind. So that's interesting to me. That's me, November birthday. But anyways, so that was interesting. The rest of them don't look as interesting to me, but it's only 200 and something pages, so it won't be that bad. I did not bring that with me to the pool though. I'm sitting in a pool parking lot for context. Also, I know what it looks like he's floating. I've got this cover for the back section of my car. I've got the seats down and he's just sitting up there. But for the book that I brought with car is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. Because I think did I tell you this? I think I told you this, that it's a YA, so it probably will be shorter and I can finish it. Hopefully the goal is by midday, which is in 4 o'clock, so that's 8 hours. I feel like I can do that. Finish it by midnight. Well, I'm not reading for all those 8 hours straight because I'll come home and have to get the house essentially unready. I'm rambling. I'm so sorry. But yeah, 8 hours to read this and then start Zodiac Academy for my nighttime book. But yeah, where I read this one. Let's see. Every citizen of England is granted 1 bargain from their immortal fae. So I'm sold. Just gonna take the dust jacket off. I don't think it's pretty under the cover, but you know, not every book can be stunning. Yeah, just green, but they're cute little. So I'm going to fold this up, take out my annotating supplies. These are all my supplies that I use for all my annotations. These are from Amazon. I know everyone like those pretty color coding ones, but they're book cover. But it's just so much easier because I can keep consistent track in my head of like what each color tab means. And then these guys, these 2 are the only highlighters that I use. They're the, what is it called, like Friction Erase? Friction Light, Pilot Friction Light highlighters. They're erasable, but because they're like erasable and stuff, they're really light and they don't bleed through pages, so I love these. And then the generic Pilot G2 pen that every single person under the face of the earth has. On the face of the earth has. So, anyways, let's get this book started. Well, my kitties, I have a little jungle gym going on back there. Hi guys, so obviously I am back home. I've been home for a little bit. I'm just over 100 pages in, I think. Yeah, just over 100 pages into The Rose Bargain. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it so, so much. But I wanted to tell you a little anecdote. So, we were only out of the house for about 45 minutes. And I've got the kitties in my car. My mom's got the dogs in her car. She comes to let me know because where I'm sitting there's no Wi-Fi, so she drives by, lets me know we can come back to the house. She gets home before me. I'm driving down the street, and right before I turn into our driveway, a dog darts out in front of me. My dog, Gracie, our husky, darts out right in front of me. So anyways, I drive a little bit to try and get ahead of Gracie and get her out. I can't. I bring the car back because it's got all the cats in it. I bring it back, park at my house. My mom's still chasing Gracie down the street. I come running. What? Okay, sorry. I was really interrupted. So my mom's chasing Gracie down the street. I because I brought Pirate's Booty to eat in the car, so I've got that with me so we can like entice Gracie. Oh, I didn't even give you the details of how Grace. Basically, our dog, we have a fence, and dogs only go in the fence because we don't. I know people have like invisible fences where like so the dogs can run in the front in the backyard, but Goose, our other dog, is deaf, so he can't hear the beep to warn him. So we just have a regular physical fence. So my mom's like, well, the dogs are on leashes, they're in their harnesses. Let's take them for a walk around the front yard so they can, be up there. Gracie slips out of her harness and her leash, and she's gone. So anyways, that's how that happened. And then, so I go park my car. I parked my car because it looked like my mom was only about 2 houses down, so I was like, I can run and catch up. Turns out Gracie was like all the way down the street, even though my mom was only 2 houses down. Thanks, Nick. Anyways, so I'm running. My mom's like, Nick's getting his car to go get her. So anyways, I'm barefoot. I'm wearing this and literally pajama shorts, that like booty pajama shorts. So I was flashing everyone while I was chasing her. But she runs into someone's backyard, so I'm following her barefoot. Then she runs into the like wheat, like the foresty section behind their house, like it's covered in pine needles and stuff. So I'm chasing her through there. And she thinks this is all a game because I'm running, she's running. And then I stop to walk for a second because she's like kind of slowing down, and she stops to walk. She's still in front of me, but she knows what I'm doing, and she's playing with me. So then anyways, I eventually catch up to her because I'm like, I need to run slowly and quietly because she can hear me, and when I speed up, she speeds up. So I'm like, I need to be running, but like not enough that she knows that I'm there. Anyways, I eventually catch up to her, and she was like, oh, so happy. She's like, oh, so having so much fun. Her ears were all pushed back, and she just thought it was a big old fun game. So anyways, I'm holding, because she's still in her collar. It was just her harness that she slipped out of. So I'm walking down the street like this, holding onto her collar, and then my brother drives up next to us, and he pulls over so we can put Gracie in his car. He forgets to park his car. So he gets out, the car starts moving. He's not in the car. Yep, anyways. But we got Gracie home. All's well that ends well. I think Vincent might be eating my fairy lights. Hold on. Benny, what are you doing? Oh, Wendell's eating my fairy lights. Oh no, stop that. Stop. You want your scratching post? Kittens, man. Okay, hopefully they stop eating that. So anyways, that happened. And then I came home. And I'm still reading. I've got about 19 and a half hours left in my readathon. And I'm really, really loving the Rose Bargain. Okay, hi. I kept getting interrupted when I tried to film that little bit. So I just stopped filming and went back to reading. But then I just had dinner. So I'm back. And my brother's gone, so he should hopefully not be interrupting me anymore. But as I was saying, I am loving the Rose Bargain. It's so good. I love our main character. I love her so much. I relate to her a lot. We've just started getting like occasional other people's point of views, and I'm loving those as well. I don't know. It's so good. It's very much the Bridgerton meets like, I don't know if I want to say the Cruel Prince, but it's like Bridgerton, and then there's trials, but they're like violent trials. I don't know. I didn't really have a full review thought out for you because I'm still only 100 and something pages in. But loving it. And then I have, once again, I think 19 hours after my readathon. Yeah, 19 hours after my readathon now. So, and it is 7:30. So this is going to be going much into tomorrow. Plus I'll be getting sleep. My goal is to stay up until like 3 a.m. and sleep until like 8 a.m. So, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep reading. That's the plan. I'm just gonna keep reading. Hi, so I'm still laying in bed reading. But I needed to read this quote too because it was despicable. Like, in a very depressing way, despicable. I've spent my whole life on my hands and knees clamoring for crumbs of love. I don't know if there will ever come a time that I'm not hungry for it. That's all. I need to go now. I need to process. Hello and good morning. It is almost 9 o'clock and I have just under 11 hours left of my readathon. I ended up not updating you guys after about 11 p.m. last night just because my family was sleeping, so I felt bad talking. But I finished The Rose Bargain and I need the second book now. I need it. I need it. I really truly love this one so much. It's exactly what I said. It was great. It was very Bridgerton meets like obviously like the cruelty of Fae that you read about and like the actual folklore of Fae and not like Sarah J. Maas Fae. But I did love it. I knew something was up with this character. I was like, I don't totally trust him. And I should not have trusted him. And I suspected something was up with Lydia's bargain that had to do with this thing, and something did have to do with that thing. But anyways, give you a brief overview. This book starts out with Ivy. She's our main character, and it's like Bridgerton, so it's their season to, be a debutante or whatever. And Ivy's sister Lydia had been a debutante 1 season before, and every single person gets to make one bargain with their fairy queen. The rest of these people are normal people, just the fairy queen. And everyone gets to make their bargain, but people who are entering the season, the debutantes, whatever, they pretty much always make their bargain when on the first day of the season. And Lydia made this bargain and disappeared for a really long time, or like 2 weeks. And then she came back like severely depressed and ruined, essentially. And Ivy, it like ruined their family because, you gotta be like high up in society and whatever. So Ivy was like their one chance to bring back their place in society. I don't know. And so she's going to start her season, and the queen announces that her fairy prince, her son, the fairy prince, she's 2 sons, one's not fairy, neither is fairy. Fairy prince is entering the season, and if you want to try to win his hand, you have to swear off all other suitors if he doesn't pick you. And then they go through a bunch of trials. And that's the gist of the book. And I loved it. I loved it so much. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so bad at giving reviews without spoiling. But that was this one. So. And then I read a chapter, Outliers, and it was fine. It was about Bill Joy, some computer coding dude. And that's about it. And then I ended up reading until 3 a.m. And I definitely could have kept going. Like, I was not tired. However, at about 9:30 last night, my boss texted me and was like, do you want to cover my shift? So I do have work today from 11 to 2. So I only stayed up until 3 a.m. because I did need sleep for my shift. But it's 9 right now, so I'm going to read for like an hour, get ready to go to work, and then go to work. And then come back and finish my readathon. So, definitely not finishing my readathon until later today. But I have been reading Zodiac Academy. I'm like 150 pages from the end. So, it's been going good. It's quick. It's good. It's bad, but it's good. So, that's my little update for you guys. Sorry, this is kind of rambly. I woke up not long ago. So. Okay, so apparently I lied. When I said I had 150 pages left, I had like 80 left. So I finished it. And I still have 10 hours left in the readathon. But, little book review. In terms of quality of this book, it's like a 3-star. In terms of did I have a good time, it's a 5-star. I truly do not know why I love this series so much. Because it's kind of technically a bully romance, I think. And I've, like, not my thing. Anything darker than regular is not my thing. But I don't know why I love this series so much. But I do. So now that I've read the 2 books that I have in it in physical copies, I need to order the next set. So I'm going to order the next 3, which is The Awakening as Told by the Boys, whatever the second one is, and whatever the third one is. And then I'm doing whatever, I saw some lady on TikToks. Hi, Wendell. Some lady on TikToks reading order. So I'm reading the first 3 books in the series. Although it's more than 3 because novellas and whatever. And then I'm reading Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, Darkmoor Penitentiary, whatever one of those comes next. Wendell's using a scratching post. Please excuse him. But I still have about an hour and 20 to leave for work. You okay, Wendell? Okay. An hour until I have to leave for work, so I'm gonna try and do 2 chapters about liars. I am currently 70 pages in. Let's see what 2 chapters would be. Two chapters would take me to page 115, so I don't know if I can do that because it's much slower reading a nonfiction businessy book than it is reading Zodiac Academy. But I will see what I can do before work. Wendell, don't go in there. You don't need to go in there. Okay, I'm gonna go. Hello, it's like 3 o'clock. I'm back from work now. It was a short shift, but there was a lot to do during that shift. Anyways, back from my readathon. I still have 9 hours and 54 minutes. And if I keep reading consistently, which I'm going to stop for dinner at some point, but I would be done at 1 a.m. Well, a little before 1 a.m., but 1 a.m. So, my plans. I'm going to read another chapter of Outliers. I only read one. I know I said I was going to try to read 2 before work, but I only read 1. And then I'm going to start Firebird, I believe. So pretty. I love her. Did I already tell you that I'm like having a hard time about like tabbing? Because I want to tab, but then it ruins the pretty edges. I'm just a girl. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, I'm going to start reading. Oh, hello, Vincent. Would you like to see Vincent? Here he is. He's such a weirdo. He doesn't like to be held. He's not a big fan of affection until he wants affection. But he would like to climb my bookshelves because he's a boy and boys will be boys. Hello. I don't know if my camera is going to stay here. It's balanced very precariously on my book, on my knees. But I'm just over 100 pages into Firebird. I'm having feelings. I don't think they're good ones. Okay, what did I say? That was not going to stay. Right, we'll just hold it here. It's like a shifter fantasy. And I feel like those are very, very hit or miss for me. And so far, it's miss. It's been a pretty quick read, but I'm not engaged. And I'm like, right now, the author is using like essentially sexual assault to villainize the main character, not the main character, the main enemy. And I just feel like there are better ways to villainize someone than how she's doing it. And it makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm gonna finish the book. But hopefully it gets better from here. I also don't totally understand what's going on. We kind of jumped right into things. And there was no explanations and nothing. And I'm like feeling a little behind on how things are going. But I don't know. Me and my coworker were talking about reading this book. And low-key, like, I don't know if I can face her after reading this book. Because it's like, I don't know. I'm having a difficult time. At the very least, at least the edges are pretty. At least the edges are pretty, that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to go back to reading. I still have a lot of hours. My timer is officially going to be done at like 3 a.m. after eating dinner and everything. I anticipate finishing this book before then, because like I said, it's going kind of quickly. It's under 400 pages. So, but I'll let you know my final thoughts, or some more thoughts in the middle if I have any. Wish me luck. Hi. So last night, I did not finish the readathon. Staying up past midnight, 2 days in a row, not for me, it seems. So I still actually have 2.5 hours left of my readathon. But I did finish Firebird, so I thought I'd talk to you about that. I don't think it got any better. I wanted to like it, mostly just because it's stunning. But I just had a really hard time with it. I feel like I said, the villainous characters, like, their only real character trait was that they were sexual predators. Like, that was it. That was the only reason that we had to hate them, truly. And then there was really nothing happened. No plot, nothing was accomplished at all until the very end. And I just feel like, I don't know. It was not for me. It really was not. And I'm really upset about that because there was so much potential. But it was not good. It was not good. I'm sorry. That's really all I have to say. I did not enjoy. I really honestly don't even recommend it. It wasn't terrible. But if you're looking for a book where stuff happens, no. Sorry. I feel bad. I really wanted to like it. And I don't know if I'm going to read more, because this is the first book in a series that it just came out, so it'll be a while. I guess it'll be if I'm thinking about this book when the next books come out. So that's that one. And then I was like, no, I can do it. I can stay up. I read a whole 1 chapter of All Roads Lead Here. And could not keep my eyes open. So, gonna finish that readathon today. It is actually like very late in the day because I went shopping with my mom. We went to the farmer's market and did some returns. And I'm baking some cookies right now. But, yes. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this one. And honestly, I think I'm gonna take a nap because I'm so tired. Guys, I'm not. I need my sleep. I do. I need it deeply. So, yeah. Like, I told you after every book I was gonna read a chapter of Outliers. After finishing Firebird, I did not read a single chapter of Outliers because I was so tired. This is the kind of book that, like, it's not super, like, engaging. So I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep if I read a chapter of this. And then I proceeded to fall asleep, essentially reading a chapter of All Roads Lead Here anyways. But, yeah. So, gonna go take that nap, then read tonight. It's fine. I will finish this readathon today. It's going to happen. I promise. Hi guys, it's Sarah from the future here. I did not finish All Roads Lead Here during my readathon, but I got like halfway done, so I figured I would finish it and then give you the recap in this video. For anyone who was curious about my thoughts on the book, so I have finished All Roads Lead Here. It's the next day. I think I said that. Oops. But I love this book so much. I so far have not met a Mariana Zapata book that I have not liked, and I am inspired to go order another one after this. I've read this one. I've read From Look Off With Love, which is my favorite from her. I've read The Well of Winnipeg and Me and Rhythm, Chord, and Malachi. But I think I'm gonna order Culty because I know that's another like fan favorite of hers. So but I really enjoyed this. I wasn't sure if I was going to. I think I mentioned I'm not the biggest fan of like single parent trope, but I really did not mind it in this book. I think it was really good. There was a scene where I did indeed tear up. It was the camping scene where Rhodes like sets up a tent for him and Aurora. I teared up. I did. Of all the scenes to tear up on, it probably shouldn't have been that one, but it was that one. But I enjoyed it so much. As you can tell, she is deeply beloved and tabbed, and it's so good. I really don't have a ton of thoughts other than the fact that I loved it. I love Mariana Zapata's writing. I love the slow burn. I love the spice level in her books because it's not high. It's like, I think this one had one scene. I think From Luke Off With Love has one scene. The Well of Winnipeg and Me had more, I think. Rhythm Chord Malachi, I honestly don't remember a ton from that one, but I think it had more than one as well. But it's been a while. But yeah, I loved it. I loved all the characters in this book, truly. Besides, obviously, the ones you're not supposed to like. But all the main characters and her friends. And it was so good. But with that being said, let's do a full recap of the 24 hours. So I started with, the books are all done here. I started with the last like 150 pages or something of the guest list. I enjoyed this. I'm still not really a thriller person, but it was not bad. So I read that. And obviously throughout, I've been reading Outliers. Not a ton of thoughts on it. I did get just about halfway in. Not halfway in. Okay, I lied. And it's interesting. But again, nonfiction, you can't really binge it. Then I read The Rose Bargain. I loved this book so much. It was so good. It was so good. That's really all I have to say. I loved it. 4.5, 5 stars. Still have not decided. But I cannot wait for the next one in a year from now or whenever that one comes out. I have my stack full of books I'm reading this month, like 3 shelves below you, so that's why I'm ducking. And then sorry, that someone was coming. And then Zodiac Academy, The Awakening. I told you the gist of Zodiac Academy. They're not greatly written books, but they're a fantastic time, and I love them. And it's so good, and I cannot wait for the other 3 that I ordered to come. And I'll read more books, and I'm excited. And then Firebird. I have been seeing some TikToks on this now. And I didn't realize this was considered a trope. Like, I didn't think it was something that came up enough times in books to be considered a trope. But it is the slave ex-master trope. So that's a warning, because that was something like I've seen in all the reviews. It is not like not marketed towards that. And again, I told you the whole thing with like the sexual predators being, it just was not good. I do not recommend reading it, really, at all. I regret buying it because I almost read it on Kindle Unlimited, but I was like, no, the edges are so pretty, I'll own it. Should not have spent the $20 I spent on it. And I know I told you at the beginning that I think I told you that I was planning to use it for my book recommendation for this month for my job at the bookstore. I'm not. I'm going to do the Rose Bargain because I think we have another one of those in stock. I'm not recommending Firebird to anyone, ever. And then All Roads Lead Here, which I just told you guys about. I don't know what I'm going to rate this. 4.5? It wasn't a 5-star because it's not as good as From Look Over With Love. Why is it not as good from Look Off With Love? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not 5-star feeling like From Look Off With Love was. So, but if this book, major heavy stuff on grief, if you are not comfortable reading about grief for whatever reason, maybe hold off on this one. And oh, my whole shelf. I have all the books that I've read this month stacked vertically on my shelf. Vertically? Yeah, it's vertically. And this one doesn't fit, it's too tall. So, but anyways, that is my readathon for the month. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. Mostly, some of the books. And yeah, with that, I will see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye.